Good morning. Welcome to Monte Vista Unitarian Universalist. It's a fine day today, and we have so much to celebrate. We're here today to worship and to give a rousing send-off to Reverend Maggie Yenoki as she retires. So please sign the commemorative book that we have for her in the back and give her your wishes and gratitude for her service and her generosity. It's in the back on a table. And we're still collecting for a send-off gift. If you would like to participate, you can Zelle with the note Reverend Maggie, or you can give today in our pink box in the back. This is there's a celebration potluck luncheon afterwards. Please join us. Coming up, please join us for December 28th service. There will be no Christmas Eve service due to the weather. The weather is supposed to be very dangerous. Lots of rain, lots of wind. And so the service is postponed, but we will be celebrating Christmas. Many people celebrate Christmas for many days throughout December and January. So we will celebrate on the 28th at our regular time, our regular Sunday time. On January 4th, join us to enjoy a service with Kusala Biksu and our January fundraising with chili of all kinds. Now, we're not having a cook-off. People just weren't feeling competitive. But we will have many kinds of beans, chili beans. So please come and join us. And I want to especially welcome our Zoom folks today. We are so pleased that we're able to have people here on Zoom. It allows many of our congregants who, for one reason or another, aren't here in person to participate and be part of our service today. Happy holidays to all of you from the Board of Trustees, and be safe out there during our upcoming weather. Thank you.
Wow. Hi.
Hi.
What a day. What a day. How beautiful. Welcome to each of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here on this winter solstice day. Happy winter, everyone. It arrived this morning at 7:03. So this is winter and the rains are about to begin. So, as is our custom, we open our service with a sounding of the bells. And as we open our service this morning, we dedicate our first words to honor the Tongva and other indigenous peoples on whose unceded ancestral homelands we are gathered today. We hold tenderly our growing recognition of the harm that is caused by colonization, and we continue to seek opportunities for any mending that we can bring. For yesterday, we call to the ancestors of our faith, our families, and our hearts as we remember our first weeks of ministry together with fondness. For today, we welcome all of you who are gathered here with us on site, online, and via our recording. We're grateful for this opportunity to celebrate the ministry that we have shared with awe and wonder. And for tomorrow, we bring our kind and open hearts to every conversation as we offer grateful farewells and our best wishes for new beginnings. And together, all of the people said 3 times, "Thank you, thank you, thank you."
Please hear the chalice lighting words by Reverend Maggie come as an invocation. We light our chalice on this special day with intention, compassion, and celebration. We open this gathering as a place for safe welcome, reverence, and growth. We create this space as one that nurtures our capacity to be of service in our community and to be growing in our relationship with Spirit. We dedicate our work together as a gift of gratitude to the past, as a gift of supported generosity to the present, and as a gift of empowering love to the future. Into this space, we invite the divine, the Spirit of life, to be present, that which is known by many names and is the source of all that is. We seek to welcome many different points of view, to grow in wisdom, and to be touched by the vibrant energies of healing and love. We give our deepest thanks to all who are with us today, and we pray that the blessings we create here together will be of benefit to all beings. May it be so.
Those who are familiar to our congregation and our weekly service liturgy is the word I was looking for. Sorry. What a day. I'm surprised I have a brain at all. It's just so beautiful, so overwhelming. Yeah, that's right. That's right. So I invite you, please, as you're comfortable and able, to stand and sing along with us our anthem that we share each week, Spirit of Life. The lyrics will be up on the screen. Please remain standing as we read our covenant together. For those of you who are new to our faith, Unitarian Universalism is not a creedal faith, but we do covenant about how we will be in relationship with each other. And these words are the covenant that our congregation speaks each week. Let's read it together. We affirm that love is the greatest purpose of this congregation. The search for truth is our constant star, and service is our prayer. We pledge our hearts, minds, and hands to challenge injustice with courage, to make choices for a healthier planet, to live our Unitarian, Universalist values every day as beloved community. Thus do we covenant with each other and with all that is sacred in life. Please be seated. I offer my deep thanks to every one of you for all of your many, many gifts that add to our congregation's well-being. Each individual gift that you bring strengthens and sustains the whole. Our weekly offering is named in our readings as a sacrament of the free church. Generous giving is a tangible yet spiritual expression through which we offer our heartfelt care for the sustainability of this community that is sacred to so many of us. As our contribution to the sustainability of our neighbors' lives, we gather donations of non-perishable foods and personal care items that can be placed in our red wagon up front until Santa and Mrs. Claus deliver them to be distributed to the Foothill Family Center. We have also voted and agreed to donate 50% of our gathered offerings that are not earmarked as pledges with a charity that aligns with our values. For the month of December, we share our offering plate with Inland Valley Hope Partners. Begun in 1968 as the Pomona Council of Churches, this nonprofit shelter and food pantry is a collaboration of faith communities, businesses, community groups, and individuals who care about our neighbors. I invite you to please come forward with your generous offerings. And I'm sorry, the center aisle is not available. It's blocked off. So we'll be dancing together in the aisles on the outside. But please come forward with your generous offerings that are given and received as expressions of gratitude for our shared hopes and values. Lily?
Good morning again. So, how does one begin the story of Reverend Maggie's journey with Monte Vista Unitarian Universalist congregation? Like any good heroine story, it starts with a calamity. Reverend Maggie began with us 3 weeks before COVID. And then COVID shut down the world. And she stepped up, and we missed only one service before we were zooming through the pandemic. As we all cast about, oh, you know what? Jaryus, sorry, I thought my slides were up there. If you go to full screen, Jaryus. If you go up in the right, oh, it is. Go up to the right-hand corner and click on full screen. See? Oh, that won't do it. Okay, that's as good as we're going to get. So as we all cast about dealing with being isolated, Reverend Maggie brought us sermons and Lily brought us music. And there are a lot of you who brought us tech, so thank you. Fast forward 2 years, and we are installing Reverend Maggie as our minister. If you can go to, there we go, with bagpipes, rituals, and cake. The slides on the screen are from a commemorative photo book we have for Reverend Maggie. Please send her your wishes and gratitude by signing the book today. And now, we have a picture, go one more, and if you see there through the portal, we have Letha coming to us Can you unmute Letha? There she is. So Letha's going to present to you.
Greetings from Utah. Alan and I regret that we couldn't be there, but I would like to just share a few things that come to mind. First off, Reverend Maggie's involvement and support of CUPS, MVUUC, Circle of Unitarian Universalist Pagans, showed in many ways. She attended CUPS gatherings when possible, and she included CUPS in services through the year, including passing through the portal at Equinox and at her installation. These services included members of CUPS who were not members of the congregation, but they always felt the welcoming spirit of Reverend Maggie during these services.
We planted an oak tree. There we go. There's the oak tree. And this is the new plaque that will be by the oak tree forever.
And Jaryus, if you can go back to the slides.
And also, Reverend Maggie embraced our cherished traditions as seen here during the annual Blessing of the Animals service. Our community has long been composed of two-legged and four-legged members. And we are so grateful to Reverend Maggie and George for sharing sweet Sophie with us too. Sophie has been a cute, well-behaved, and welcoming greeter these past years, and we all wish her many more happy years making people smile. We also have much gratitude for George Yenoki. Thank you, George, for all the technical wisdom you have shared with us, and a big thank you for supporting Reverend Maggie as she has spent endless hours ministering to all of us. The three of you make an awesome, effective, and loving team.
Reverend Maggie's sermons and Sunday services included our flower service, water service, and as you can see on the screen, the Day of the Dead Remembrance. She inspired, consoled, gave us poetry and prose, and occasionally gently pushed us. Always the depth of her compassion and care presided. The chalice was lit. The chalice we light was a gift from her and George, and is a continuing flame of reminder. The next picture up there is Maggie did presided over many memorials here at Monte Vista, and helped us and the families navigate the remembrance of life. Her words and presence consoled brothers, sisters, children, nephews, nieces, cousins, and friends. Blessed be. And we have Letha again, Jaryus. Can you unmute Letha again? She already is. Okay, great.
Okay. Reverend Maggie showed us that community was important. We all felt the sense of being family, but also the rituals that make us who we are. The ringing of the bowl or the sounding of the bells, ending a service with a song played by Lily, along with having candles in a basket near the pulpit for those seeking emotional uplifting, the remembrance of congregants, departed ancestors, and friends during Samhain and the Day of the Dead, along with Sophie greeting congregants before and after services.
The sanctuary is not the only place where rituals and community occurred. Reverend Maggie also created both on Zoom by quickly transitioning us to virtual services after COVID shut the world down. She introduced a virtual happy hour, which later became known as Taco Tuesday, allowing us the ability to socialize while still maintaining physical distance. Reverend Maggie also provided us with Gathering Around Grief, a monthly gathering that allows us to mourn our lost loved ones in a supportive environment.
Reverend Maggie wore another hat during her tenure here at MVUUC, and that was as head of staff. The staff enjoyed good relationships with Reverend Maggie, so I asked them specifically what they enjoyed about working with her. They indicated that she trusted them, which encouraged them to be motivated, engaged, and productive. She always had an open door and was always accessible. She was patient and truly cared about them. She communicated effectively with them and was always transparent, which allowed them to stay committed and engaged. She showed appreciation for their hard work and dedication, and always encouraging them to be their best selves. As you can appreciate, the staff are hired based on their experience in their particular positions, except for Robert. So they are not necessarily familiar with the Unitarian Universalist creedless religion. Reverend Maggie took the time to explain to them about the UU and its history so that they could better understand the people they work for in the congregation. Reverend Maggie loved the work she did. It showed in her attitude, and that enthusiasm was infectious. She brought a positive energy to the workplace.
Reverend Maggie and I used to joke that before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water, and after enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. Monte Vista UUC is certainly a chop wood, carry water kind of place. From fundraisers to work parties, Reverend Maggie and George dug in to help. And here you can see one of our fundraisers, and then there's Maggie hauling gravel. And our last slide. As our favorite monarch flies down the yellow brick road to a life of retirement, we wish for her wonderful new adventures. As the leader of the pulpit for the past 5 years, we thank her. And Maggie, can you come up here? We are presenting Maggie with a baton, and it's symbolic of a gift card coming to the Hollywood Bowl. So, okay. Thank you. And so she can conduct her next pursuits. The congregation also wants her and George to have lots of music in their future, so we will have a gift certificate for you to the Hollywood Bowl so you can enjoy music under the stars. Yeah. Thank you, Maggie.
Wonder if it will work for Sophie. Thank you. What a brilliant gift. Thank you. Thank you. I won't try to use it when I'm at a concert led by Mr. Dudamel. He probably wouldn't appreciate that. But yeah. I invite you now to join me in a spirit of prayer. That I will hold little moments of silence in between my words for your meditation. But let's take time to gather our prayers for courage to step out on new paths. We admit that we might feel we are a bit paralyzed, held in place by very real possibilities. Some are memories and true stories of hard times that we've endured. The impact on our souls from previous times of failure and regret for those endings that did not go well. We remember those times in silence when we acted out in a way that was out of character and remains to sadden us. Times that we failed when we were depended on, and times we were unable to prevent harm that we did not intend. We remember the regard that we hold for those moments as we allow them to change us. Times we choose to insist on integrity, both our own and the ethic that we witness in others. Times we have lived into our deepest values or received great kindness in return for the way that we participate in the care of others. We choose to witness all shortcomings with curiosity and courage and grasp the sacred worthiness that is inherent to our paths. And for those alongside us, to extend regard to all, to choose to begin anew, again and again and always. And as we sense our frozen footsteps releasing, we exclaim, "Onward, ho!" Not trapped by our past or afraid of what's next, but free to live and serve and grow today and always, always, always called to return to love. And with gratitude, we say, "Blessed be," and amen. And we sing together, "There is a love." The words will be on the screen.
Good morning. I'm Laura Mulroy. When the Spiritual Life team talked about Reverend Maggie's service, we agreed that although we are indeed sad she is leaving, we want to focus today on a joyful celebration of her ministry at MVUUC and our enthusiastic best wishes for her retirement. For me, a celebration of Reverend Maggie's ministry goes back further than for many of you here today. I had to go through my old computer files to figure out when I first met her. You may not all know that Reverend Maggie first came to Monte Vista as an intern minister back in 2017. We had just, after many years, restarted an adult religious exploration program, and Reverend Maggie volunteered to join our new committee and jumpstart our program by co-teaching 2 classes with Amy Randall, our then Director of Lifespan Religious Exploration. First was a class called Class Consciousness in Unitarian Universalism. And I remember still how much Reverend Maggie supported us through what turned out to be very awkward and difficult conversations. She was sensitive and supportive, and it meant a lot to us. Next, she co-taught a class on the song Spirit of Life, which we sang today and I think have sung every Sunday since Reverend Maggie's been in our pulpit. And I remember the class, and Reverend Maggie had to encourage me through an exercise that involved drawing my feelings, which was quite a new experience for me. I wished Reverend Maggie could have just stayed on here, helping and teaching us all, but intern ministers only stay a short time, and our intern minister continued her journey, and we went through a lot of changes here. We gained and lost a settled minister, And then Reverend Maggie came back to help us again, both as a contract and a settled minister. Reverend Maggie, since you came back to us, you have guided us with warmth, generosity, and wisdom through tough transitions and a pandemic lockdown to now a renewed sense of resilience and dedication. You provided support and inspiration and encouraged us all to follow our passions. As you and George embark on a new chapter in your lives as retirees together, I offer you our warm support and our very best wishes to follow your passions. On behalf of the Spiritual Life team, I would like to offer you a blessing for retirement from the Reverend Ann Bancroft. As you end one path and move toward hopeful celebration of the next, we offer a prayer for the journey. The angel of hope appeared. God is change, she said. You will not be alone. Where there is a new path, there is love and possibility abundant. Embrace it as you are able. Travel gently in this new land until it feels again, or for the first time, like home.
I'm Catherine Rowley, and I've worked pretty closely with Reverend Maggie since she's been here. And we all have our own little take on this, little bit of overlap, but I want to talk to you about love. Reverend Maggie's ministry with us has been a ministry of love. She has loved at this congregation with everything her heart has had to give. For the 5 years she has been with us, every Sunday that she has preached, or you might say spoken to us, everything she has said has been rooted in love. There is no minister more qualified than she to help us understand and embrace the shift in Unitarian Universalist philosophy from the principles of our faith to the shared values of Unitarian Universalists, values with love at the center. From the pulpit, she has shared her insights, engaged us in a way that has gently initiated deep personal and spiritual exploration, and encouraged us, impelled us actually, to recognize our own individual value, self-worth, and strength in ways that often moved us to tears. She also encouraged and loved at the congregation as a whole, as a living, evolving, resilient, and precious entity. She became available to service at a time of desperate need, already familiar and in love with our congregation, as well as well-loved and respected by our members from her days here as our intern. She came on as a very part-time minister and ended up being called by our congregation as our settled minister. From the get-go, helping us to heal and to move past the trauma that had injured us and into a new era, I should say, of vitality and love was on her agenda, and I believe that she accomplished that goal. She tended the hearth through quiet, lonely, scary days of COVID, re-energizing and supporting the congregation as we returned to our building, supporting and encouraging our new programs, and believing in all of us and all of our abilities. And she taught us to be the best that we could be. She encouraged us to create, to serve, and to grow in love. And lastly, keeping the flame of resilience and hope alive through the extreme financial and psychological stresses we have experienced during the past year. In her time with us, Reverend Maggie integrated fully into our congregation, supporting us in our individual and collective times of grief, loss and mourning, and confusion. She has celebrated our joys and our successes, and until voluntarily choosing to become part-time, was present with us way above and beyond the call of duty, just because she wanted to be with us. And of course, we all know that along with Reverend Maggie came her unwaveringly devoted crew. I call them a crew. Sophie and George. It's hard to put into words Sophie's contributions. But I can bet that you can all, at will, close your eyes and see Sophie's smiling face as she sits proudly in her mother's loving arms. And George, with his subtle sense of humor and unassuming manner, has supported Reverend Maggie and her ministry with a patience that has exceeded the best of us. He has tended to the grounds and the facilities in ways that are too numerous to mention, and has edited and put our Sunday sermons on YouTube. George has a quiet but astute opinions, which he has shared when asked. He has a way of stating very complicated situations very clearly, and he has always given good advice. George. I see you cringing about this, but it's true. What good fortune our congregation has had to have these three in our midst. Reverend Maggie had said that when she first arrived, she thought she would stay 5 years, and now 5 years have passed. And true to her word, she is moving on. We honor this choice of hers, and we embrace happy thoughts for her and her crew's future. And concerning the California Coast Live Oak that we planted in honor of Reverend Maggie's ministry, I have a special fondness for it, having been one of the honored ones who was on my knees in the soil, placing it in the ground when it was no more than 8 inches tall. It has done well. I like to think that Reverend Maggie's love grows in that tree, and that it will continue to grow as the tree grows into the great symbolic mother that she is destined to be. I believe that the love Reverend Maggie planted in us will also continue to grow. And like the tree, our congregation has definitely been rooted in love. It is now up to us to tend to the growth, the well-being, and to the special love that defines this tree and this congregation. The knowledge that love is the greatest power and the strongest force, and that it is contained in each one of us individually, yet flows through all of us, and that it can be and should be manifest in all that we do and say, has been emphatically instilled in us for these past 5 years. We can live in love, we can grow in love. So at the same time as we lovingly release Reverend Maggie and her crew from her ministry with us, the love she has gifted us with and awakened in our own hearts will live on and continue to grow in the work we do individually, in this congregation, and in the world. We are rooted in love and can vow to make it our true desire to keep love at the center of all that we do. Thus, we will honor Reverend Maggie and stay our course. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. When Reverend Maggie asked if I wanted to speak today in honor of her retirement and the work we've done together, I suddenly found myself feeling very much like the Scarecrow and the Cowardly Lion. My heart was beating so fast I knew I definitely wasn't the Tin Man, at least not in that moment. What do you say? How do you capture everything we've gone through as a congregation in like a minute and a half? As far as being staff goes, I've never had a boss like Reverend Maggie, and it honestly feels very weird to call her a boss. She definitely took leadership lessons from Dorothy. Smart, confident, willing to meet people where they're at, and with a heart full of love. Oh, and always bring a dog along for company. One thing that's for certain, though, is that no matter what challenges we faced, we always faced them as a team. We all had each other's backs when the proverbial flying monkeys attacked or when we were lost in the woods. That's what life is like, right? A winding road with unexpected challenges, skipping along, singing "We're Off to See the Wizard" as we turn the next bend, always hoping to find some big truth at the end of the journey. The truth is, though, when we got to where we were going, we learned that there's even more journey out there, somewhere over the rainbow. And here we are at the end of one story, ready to begin the next. As we say farewell, it's important to remember that we are saying goodbye as friends. Our paths will separate now, as paths sometimes do, but we know that in the time we spent with Reverend Maggie, we found that we had the brains, heart, and courage that we sought all along. And even though she didn't give us those qualities, we were all nonetheless changed by our journey together, and we've left a huge indelible mark on her life as well. She will awaken in a far-off land of Monrovia and see bits of us in all the faces she comes across. She will know, and we will know, that our time together has changed us all for good. And now, we have in the back a little cardboard house. And this is because there's no place like home, and this community has been a home for Reverend Maggie for a long time. So when you're signing her book, there's these little yellow cards. Share a memory or a joy, something for Reverend Maggie, and put it in the house. And Reverend Maggie, when you're missing us, open it up, read a card, and just reconnect with us. And also, because there's no place like home, I have a gift. During our auction a little while back, there was a bidding war for a welcome mat that I would make. And so I decided, why not just give one to Reverend Maggie, who was one of the bidders. She was outbid ultimately. So we have a welcome mat with rainbow colors. This is all our welcome here. And this can go home with you. This is yours. I also made one for the church that's out front. If you guys, when you walk in, you'll see it. But this is your guys's. May your home always be a place of warmth and kindness, just as you have brought to us here. So thank you. And now the choir will sing "For Good" from Wicked.
I guess there's no one to blame but me. Oh. I love you too, Jimmy. There's very few times in our lives that the lyric of any song strikes with so much resonance that you can actually feel a shift in your heartbeat and in your way of seeing and your very bones. But songwriter Stephen Schwartz tells the story that as he prepared to write For Good as the moving farewell duet in the 2003 Broadway production of the musical Wicked, it was a conversation that he had had with his daughter that he quoted almost verbatim to create the lyric. She shared with him about her sadness that a close friend was leaving and moving to the West Coast. Because I knew you, I have been changed for good. And it doesn't matter in any way that it took 64 years from 1939, when the Wizard of Oz film was released, until Wicked opened on Broadway in 2003, for this perfect piece to fall into place. It's one of those songs that is outside time and space. And we can almost hear Judy Garland as Dorothy Gale singing it to her beloved friends, the Scarecrow, the Tin Man, and the Lion. And today, as we say goodbye, we sing it to each other. Perfect. Like a handprint on my heart. And there are so many delicious and meaningful metaphors within L. Frank Baum's book, The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, written in 1900 when he was 44 years old, living in Chicago. And there's no question that this epic story was inspirited or as some might say, God-breathed. With its timeless charm and limitless virtue, and indispensable significance as a theme for spiritual and theological exploration. Jaryus, oh, you got my friends up there. I see our adventure together over the past actually 6 years, because I arrived in January of 2020. So in just a few weeks, it'll be 6 years. So you owe me a year. Yeah, 5+. But it's reflected in the experiences of Dorothy and her beloved companions, and it seems so fitting to let them accompany us today as we prepare to bid one another farewell and set out on our new and different pathways. Today, our paths diverge, and at this very special time, our own crossroad is made of yellow bricks and so many gifts. You head off on your new journey as a stronger, healthier, happier, lay-led congregation. And George and I turn toward the west as we conclude our ministry with you and scoop up our Sophie, and float gently away as if we were in a hot air balloon. Off to the summer lands of retirement in Monrovia, which is not very much like Kansas at all. No, it's good. You decide. I love it. As long as it's not in the way of the cameras, I don't think it's good. Okay. Thanks, Catherine. But let's avoid the temptation to say that any one particular Oz character has identities that fully describe any of us. I'm not just Dorothy, but I've got some Dorothy. And as we follow the yellow brick road today with all 4 beloveds, learning from each of them, and looking at the ways their journeys reflect in our lives and teach us of the rich spiritual gifts that we can acquire for the path ahead. Dorothy, oh poor Dorothy, waking up to such chaos. Kansans are more familiar with tornadoes than we are, but we can relate to the turbulence of a 5.3, right? That might cause something to clock us in the head and send us dreaming of flying houses and spiral paths and of beings of unusual stature who seek to be helpful and guide us on our way. Dorothy's got many of your traits. You're kind to new strangers, even when it seems everything has suddenly changed. She's a seeker of belonging, centered in her passionate focus. And like you, she's brave enough to push back against injustice, whether it's a cranky neighbor on a bike who dislikes dogs, or a so-called wizard who turns out to be a charlatan. She seeks to help others in need, no matter if it's stuffing somebody back together or using an oil can to help someone speak who hasn't been heard in a very long time, or sharing a bit of courage with someone who feels very unsafe. Dorothy sticks up for truth. She can stand up to a tree that hoards all its apples, and even when she's afraid, she leads with the confidence that whatever comes, you're on the right path, and no matter what, we're going to stick together. But earlier on her path, before she gets too far down the road, she stops for directions. Smart girl. From a stranger in a cornfield along the road who's a bit worse for wear. But Scarecrow and Dorothy find right away that they need one another. And just like I see in you, they discover that when kindness is extended to strangers, it dissolves differences. It makes the road ahead much easier, whether it's made of yellow bricks or cobblestone or freeway asphalt. But Scarecrow is such a good teacher for those of us who are critical of ourselves and maybe a bit unsure of our own gifts. He believed he was brainless. Show of hands. Has anyone ever been told that you were less than? By someone you knew, and maybe somebody you had to rely on or interact with often. Maybe someone you couldn't walk away from. A mean relative or a boss or a neighborhood bully. We have to be carefully aware of what we believe, though. And we might hear Scarecrow come through in us when we failed at something, and when we hear criticism from anyone that we respect, or when we disappoint someone who was depending on us. We might hear our inner Scarecrow when we fall apart like he did, and we need someone to gently put us back together. And that's what we do here. We hear Scarecrow when he comes out in others, and we help them stand on their own feet again, sometimes just metaphorically, and maybe for the very first time. We might help them put their own stuffing back together, using whatever qualities we can see that they already have, adjusting their own inside stuff so that they can walk with us as sacred companions, offering safekeeping and even a little bit of repair for the journeys that we share as we keep going on this path together. Dorothy and Scarecrow set off on their shared journey, seeking what they believed they lacked and knew that they needed. And the two of them, finding their way through the dark together, were scavenging for apples that they found on the forest floor when Dorothy comes across the Tin Man, frozen in place, unable to speak, squeaking out sounds with all his might, trying to explain what he needs. Maybe we were a Tin Man at a pinnacle moment in our lives. I found him lurking inside me at times when I was afraid to speak up. And maybe you have too. Your jaw is rusted shut, maybe for ages. Our words are left unspoken and unheard, and our needs are unexpressed, and in some situations losing the voice that may have never really been used. Until a couple of curious strangers you've never met before happen to come along at MVUUC. And they stop and they care and they listen and they hear your soft, squeaky, pained attempts to give voice to what you need, and they hear you. And that's what we do here. And they help you. And that's what we do here. And they invite you to dance and join our happy throng. And they sing, "We're off to see the wizard." But there's a ways to go through the dark first. As the three new friends continue onward through the forest with Toto tagging along, there's a bit of a mood shift as they sense danger. And Dorothy says, "I don't like this forest. It's dark and creepy." She keeps her companions close as they begin to chant, naming their fears as they keep moving onward together. Does that sound like my advice to you? Lions and tigers and bears, oh my. And when the lion comes bounding out of the forest toward them, both the Tin Man and Scarecrow have exchanges with the lion. But it's Dorothy who bops him in the nose and makes him cry after he tries to harm her beloved Toto. We've had our own scary lions come bounding out of the darkness over the past few years, haven't we? Like COVID and broken pipes and leaky roofs. But our inner Dorothy has us standing up to them and refusing to let harm come to those we care so much about. One or two of us might have been heard quoting Dorothy and squatting at the threats that we've had. Can you hear me saying to anyone who might think they can sue us, like Dorothy told the lion, well, you're nothing but a big coward. Yeah, I've said it a couple times. It really does feel good to say that. And yet Dorothy softens her heart toward that sobbing lion. And she invites him to come along and find the courage that he longs for in the Emerald City. And off they go, arm in arm, facing several other situations head on, along the way, like flying monkeys, and falling asleep among the poppies, and skywriting about surrendering all while keeping their high hopes for this wonderful wizard that they've been told about, who it turns out isn't a very good Wizard of Oz at all, except for the ways he teaches you to watch out for anyone using lies and false advertising to send you on a wild goose chase that requires you to act in ways against your ethics, like melting a witch. And he still comes up short. And he sails off in the balloon without you. That promise that you saw as your only way out, the only way home, leaving you stranded and brokenhearted. But not for too long. As a better way soon comes into view and new paths become possible. And we come to really know that we've had the power all along. And so off we go toward new adventures, taking love with us and realizing how strong we truly are. And we promise each other, we promise to remember that all the dreams that we dared to dream really do come true. Blessed be. There's a song that those of you here that are regular attenders at UU services will be familiar with. It's one, I asked George to pick our closing song. And it's one that we had in our wedding. It's a fun one. So I invite you to stand and let it rip as we sing together about our future, separate paths, but let's do it. Let's let it be a dance. So this is our unison benediction. And every week at my services, I always write something so that we read it to each other and we bless each other with it. The words are in your order of service, and I'm not sure they're going to be on the... Oh! It's so perfect. They've got it in their order of service. It's fine, Jaryus. You're forgiven. But let's read it. I'll read it to you. As we close our final service together and extinguish our chalice flame, may we walk our respective paths in the light of love and justice, grateful for the web of life that reminds us we will always be one. Let's enjoy Lily's post.